On the news this morning, large turnout of voters recorded across the state in presidential and National Assembly elections. Healthy lifestyle advocated to tackle the challenge of obesity. Nigerian Air Force strikes Boko Haram camp in northern Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, residents of Okinawa, Japan, set to vote on U.S. military base relocation. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Ifi Onachuku. And now the news in detail. Governor Willie Obiano has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for its sustained efforts towards actualizing free and credible elections. Government Now's correspondent, Eji Kabana, has the details.
After voting at a primary school, polling unit 004, Otuacha Ward 1 in Anambra East local government area, Governor Obiano, who was accompanied by his wife, Dr. Mrs. Ebele Chukwu Obiano, expressed satisfaction with the peaceful and orderly manner of the exercise.
Is just cast our vote, performing our civic responsibility. You can see it's very orderly here. I hope it's going to be so all over the place. Don't blame yourself if you don't vote. This is the time to come and show that you support what is happening and help Nigeria move forward.
From Aguleri in Anambra East Council area, Ejike Abana, ABS News, handing over to my colleague Emmanuel Okonkwo for more reports.
Thank you, Ejike. The State Deputy Governor, Dr. Nkemo Okeke, has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to prove itself trustworthy by ensuring that people's will prevail in the ongoing presidential, senatorial, and House of Representatives elections, as well as subsequent elections. The Deputy Governor was speaking shortly after voting with his wife, Mrs. Obi Nkemo Okeke, at Uluokwe, Ward 2, Polling Unit 002, Enugu, in Njikoka local government area. Deputy Governor Okeke expressed satisfaction with the massive turnout of people at the polling unit and other polling units visited, including Umuezu, Awovu, Ward 1, Polling Unit 005, Obago, Ulbaleke, Ward 3, Polling Unit 009, among others, where people turned out en masse to exercise their franchise. Dr. Okeke charged the INEC to allow the people's votes to count, as it remains the only way to restore Nigerians' confidence in the electoral body.
So far, it seems to be working. There's orderliness, the process is free, fair, and very transparent. And I'm praying that this is going on elsewhere in the entire state and the entire of the nation. People have the right to exercise their civic to vote and hopefully choose whoever they want to be. Okay.
He commended youths in the area for participating actively in the elections and encouraged them to wait until their votes are counted before leaving the scene to protect their votes. Some of the electorates, including Mr. Dan Chukwuemeka and Mrs. Charity Okenwa, while commending the INEC for conducting a peaceful election in the country this time, canvassed for peace after the declaration of the winners in the elections, as they expressed optimism that the INEC would be fair and transparent in the results.
A credible leader, somebody that will lead us to promised land. That is exactly what we need. We don't need any other thing. That is what we want. Transparency matters in everything.
Also speaking, an 80-year-old woman, Mrs. Benedicta Okekagu from Umuatulu, Awovu village, Enugu, said she was motivated by her decision to secure a brighter future for the younger generations. From Enugu community in Njikoka local government area, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
The Speaker, State House of Assembly, Barrister Rita Madago, has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on the conduct of the presidential and National Assembly elections. We'll now bring to you the details.
Speaking to the ABS immediately after casting her vote at Umudim Ward, polling unit 009 Upo, Nnewi South Local Government Area, Mrs. Mmaduagwu said the elections in her area was peaceful without any form of violence, distortions, or card reader problems.
Education is everywhere is calm. It's peaceful, and people are voting according to their will. Every party candidate, they've actually done the campaign, so you now vote according to your conscience.
Other voters at the different polling units visited, including Upo Center Ward 6, polling unit 018 Upo, Andima Balan Hall, polling booths 11 and 12, Osumei, both in Nnewi South Local Government Area, praised the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the conduct of peaceful elections. Meanwhile, at Obube Mbemena in Nneni, Aniocha Council area, units 008 and 009 voters said they arrived at polling units by some minutes past 8 to cast their vote. One of the voters, who is the traditional prime minister of the community, Chief Anthony Enukeme, said INEC officials arrived before 8 o'clock to start the process. According to Chief Enukeme, people of the area all came out en masse and participated actively in the exercise. He disclosed that one of the card readers had issues but was later rectified. There was also impressive turnout of voters in various units in Idemili South Local Government Area. The Minister of Labour, Senator Chris Ngige, voted at polling unit 010, Nkwide Public Square, Alo, Idemili South Council Area, after initial hinge when card reader failed to read his fingerprint.
Cast my votes. The card reader picked my cards. The card reader did identify my thumb or index finger, and therefore I got me to the next stage, which is that I will thumbprint where my photograph and my replicated PVC is on the paper, and give my telephone number.
Onitsha and environs also recorded massive turnout of eligible voters who trooped out to exercise their franchise. When ABS visited some of the areas including Fege, Upper New Market Road, MCC area and parts of Upper Iweka, among others, recorded impressive turnout of voters.
Reports from different parts of the state confirmed large turnout of voters for the Presidential and National Assembly elections yesterday. We have more details on this.
According to our correspondent at Community Primary School, Amobia Ward 2, voting commenced as early as 9 o'clock in the morning, where there were 2 polling booths with 4 voting units. One of the voting units had an issue of the card reader, which resulted to delay in voting. At the Aroma polling units 001 and 002, INEC ad hoc staff were seen at about 8:15, setting and checking their materials. Meanwhile, accreditation and voting commenced simultaneously by 27 minutes to 10 in the morning at Umuzocha Hall polling unit 005, Oka, Ward 2 in Oka South Local Government Area. INEC ad hoc staff deployed to the area and election materials arrived very late. ABS cited only one police officer controlling the electorate as they cast their vote in an orderly and peaceful atmosphere. Speaking to the ABS after casting his vote, the member representing Oka South Constituency 1 in the State House of Assembly, Dr. Nnamdi Ukafo, commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for making all sensitive materials for the election available, as well as the electorate for performing their civic responsibility as law-abiding citizens.
I just exercise my civic responsibility. You know, today is voting day in Nigeria. We are voting for the presidency, for the senatorial race, and then for that of the House of Representatives. And I was just able to cast my vote for the 3 respective positions.
Voting in parts of Ekusigo local government area was delayed due to card reader malfunctions, as voting commenced in some places as late as 2:30 p.m. At Ebomozobolo Ward 3, polling unit 002, voting started at few minutes before 3 o'clock p.m., causing voters to be apprehensive as the INEC ad hoc staff were compelled to seek assistance before the SCR issue was taken care of. The story was, however, different at Sick Bay polling units 009, 001, and 002. Osumowu, Ihiala local government area, where counting and collation of votes started at 2 o'clock. While at Dimala Hall, Osumenyi Ward 2, polling units 010, 011 and 012, Nnewi South local government area, voting commenced seamlessly at 8 o'clock in the morning. Speaking to the ABS after casting his ballot, the All Progressive Grand Alliance ABGA senatorial candidate for Anambra South, Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu, expressed a level of confidence in the process, but said he will continue to monitor the process to see that INEC delivered a highly acceptable exercise.
And they are queuing and they are voting peacefully, and you can see there's no manipulation whatsoever in where I voted now, because I believe in a policy of doctrine of whosoever that wins, God makes it possible. So we should be truly Nigerian and exercise our civic responsibility in a manner that really be according to the law.
Obesity has remained one of the leading causes of deaths globally and has rendered some homes useless and made many children orphans. In sub-Saharan Africa, the trend is not too different, as even the harsh economic realities have not done much to reduce the health condition which has derived its origin genetically through lifestyles, adaptation, chronic diseases, and gluttony. According to an Oka-based medical expert, Dr. Ernest Ifebi, the dangers of the health challenge include reduced lifespan, heart disease, high blood pressure, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, mellitus, infertility, erectile dysfunction, high cholesterol, among others. Dr. Ifebi announced that modest weight loss can improve the problems associated with obesity. The medical experts recommended treatment for such health challenges to include exercises, drugs, and weight loss surgery and dietary changes, such as intake of more fruits and vegetables, low salt intake, avoiding late night eating, and reduction in starchy and fatty foods. The Nigerian Air Force said that it has conducted airstrikes on Boko Haram terrorist camp at Zanari in northern part of Borno State. Its spokesman, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, said in a statement that scores of insurgents were killed during the strikes. He added that the attacks on the terrorists were carried out after intelligence reports have indicated their presence in the area. He assured that the NAF, operating in concert with surface forces, will sustain its efforts to completely destroy all remnants of the terrorists in the northwest. The Federal Inland Revenue Service said it has recovered over 33 billion naira from firms that failed to remit the withholding tax and VAT they collected from consumers. The FIRS said it had expanded the tax net in the last 18 months, adding that over 1.2 million business accounts that were hitherto not captured have been added to it. The chairman, FIRS, Mr. Babatunde Fowler, who disclosed this in Lagos, said over 10 million individuals were also captured during the period, noting that some firms' accounts were frozen by the banks for non-compliance. Fowler said the firms had collected withholding tax and VAT from consumers without remitting them to the government. He said the agency carried out an audit on the firms after the amount they remitted to the government from their self-assessment was found to be inadequate. R&B superstar R. Kelly turned himself into Chicago police after prosecutors charged him with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sex abuse against 4 victims, 3 of them minors. The bombshell development in the Kelly saga came after a judge approved a non-bail arrest warrant for the 52-year-old, who for decades has faced accusations of child pornography, sex with minors, operating a sex cult, and sexual battery. Kelly surrendered to Chicago police and was taken into custody. He will appear in court tomorrow afternoon, a police spokesman said. Okinawans will vote in a local referendum on Sunday over the landfill construction of a U.S. Marine Corps base in Heneko, a plan that has been at the center of controversy since its announcement in 1996. The prefecture of Okinawa, comprising of Japan's southmost islands that make up just 0.6% of Japanese territory, is currently host to more than 74% of U.S. military bases in the country. The new base's construction comes as part of the government's promise to relocate the U.S. military air base in Futnama, a densely populated residential area, to the less populated village of Henoko. But the government's relocation plan has faced long-standing opposition from Okinawan residents who said the landfill construction would devastate the marine life in the coral-rich bay of Heneko. And now sports. Nigeria's Under-20 squad would know their group phase opponents at this summer's FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals in Poland after the draw ceremony to be held inside the Ghanaian State Sports Arena today. Already the 7-time African champions have been slotted into pot 2 of the draw alongside African champions Mali, as well as New Zealand, Colombia, Korea Republic, and Italy. There will be 6 groups of 4 teams each at the 24-nation championship, with the top 2 teams at the end of the group phase, as well as the best 4 third-place teams advancing to the round of 16. That's the news, but before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging onto our website, www.absradiotv.com. You can like us at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television, or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now a recap of the main points. High turnout of voters was recorded across the state in presidential and National Assembly elections. Healthy lifestyle advocated to tackle the challenge of obesity. Nigerian Air Force has struck Boko Haram camp in northern Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, residents of Okinawa, Japan, set to vote on U.S. military base relocation. That's the news from ABS. Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. My name is Ifi Onachukwu. Do have a beautiful day ahead.